twisted game. Wow, Russian game. The twisted game.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, standing in the corner to my left. He weighs in at 160 pounds from Hesperia, California. He is Steve Andrews. And his opponent, standing in the corner to my right. He weighs in at 190 pounds and also hails from Hesperia, California. And the man who looks like Johnny Morrison. He is one half of the Young Bucks, Slick NickJackson.
We're back here at the Downey's Elks Lodge for some more great wrestling action courtesy of Hybrid Pro Wrestling. And this is going to be high-flying personified with the competitors we have in the ring right now. Slick Nick, one half of the Young Bucks, going one-on-one with a young Steve Andrews, a high-flying sensation from HRW Wrestling. I know for a while he's been training over at their training camp over in the Hesperia and Victorville area. And to the best part of my knowledge, this is going to be the first time that he will face Slick Nick in a one-on-one contest. And Mike Zaria back here at the broadcast position with me. I was going to say how this is high-flying action personified.
Oh, very much so. One half of the Young Bucks, one of the top tag teams here in Southern California, taking on a very young Steve Andrews. I mean, we've seen Steve, come up through the years, and he's really, tried to make a name for himself. And now Hybrid, as I said, giving people the opportunity that they would not normally get. Young Steve Andrews is getting a chance right here to wrestle Slick Nick.
This is definitely a big opportunity for Steve Andrews, and it's just going to be a matter if he can capitalize on this opportunity that he's been giving. Slick Nick, lately he's been wrestling a lot of singles actions.
Look at the bridge from the chin lock right there. Oh, and Larry, I would like to announce there has been a Rick Knox sighting here.
I have yet to see Rick Knox. We haven't seen him in the ring. Would be nice to see him in the ring, but right now, in the ring, we have Slick Nick taking control of Steve Andrews, the young inexperienced Steve Andrews.
Oh, yes, but see, that youthful exuberance and inexperience also leads to a very dangerous wrestler. He's willing to take chances that a normal wrestler would not take in order to win this match, in order to prove exactly how much he belongs in that ring.
And you said it just right, Mike, that HPW is known for giving young wrestlers chances and opportunities that they normally would not give and that they would normally not get in any other promotion. That's what separates Hybrid Pro Wrestling from any other promotion, not only here in Southern California, but all over across the country.
Right now, test of strength. This is not, oh, look at the toss right there, and look at now he's getting a little bit of a wrestling lesson right here, courtesy of one Slick Nick. Beautiful single leg takedown right there.
Comes off the ropes for added momentum. Big leapfrog. No, he got caught. Inverted atomic drop.
Beautiful insecurity to the back of the head, turns him inside out, and he rolls out of the ring.
Now, did he roll out of the ring because of experience, because he knows that that's a way to slow down the momentum of your opponent, or did he roll out of there because of pure impact from that kick?
I would have to think a little bit of both, Larry. He did get caught very hard in the back of the head by that insecurity. You see him still suffering the effects of it. But at the same time, you have to realize he's been trained by these very same Young Bucks. So he must pick up a lot of what they've taught him, and he's watched a lot of their matches. So he must know when he's in trouble, the proper thing to do is to roll to the outside of the ring and escape.
Steve Andrews is still in trouble. Nice leg trip by Slick Nick. There was a cover, but no count. Now the leg trip by Andrews. Again, no count. Look at this. Both men went for the drop kick, and both kip up. And here we are, the standoff.
And remember what I was telling you, Larry. Remember what I told you. These two men, this is what I was telling you. Steve has been studying underneath the Young Bucks for a long time, a series of a couple years now, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing him back up in the desert when they were holding their shows. And I got to tell you that if anyone would know the Young Bucks, it would be Steve.
It's going to be a case of if the student taught everything or learned everything from the teacher, and the teacher now in control so far. Clothesline sends him up and over hard onto the floor.
And you got to see that this is exactly it. this should show you that this is just a friend. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say this is a friendly match. He wasn't going
Up and over, Placho.
up and over.
Over the top rope, landing clean on Steve Andrews. And you gotta wonder if Steve Andrews, obviously he felt the full force of that, but did Slick Nick feel the force as well? I mean, that's one of those high-risk moves that can not only affect both your opponent, but it'll affect you as well.
Oh, very, very true, Larry. And you gotta realize that there's cover. Steve kicking out at a 2, very nice. You have to realize that this is the way that the Young Bucks live. This is how they wrestle. They wrestle that high-risk style. So they're used to taking the shots. They're used to taking the pain from the body. But what you have to understand, you have to ask is, how much can Steve take? What is Steve capable of taking in that ring?
Well, definitely he hasn't had as many battles in the ring as compared to Slick Nick. So a lot of us are still unsure of the full abilities of Steve Andrews. And at this point in Steve Andrews' career, he may be a little bit unsure of himself as well. But he has to get past that. He has to be more confident. Obviously, he had that confidence. I saw that come in as he was coming into the ring. Right now, that confidence seems to be slowly fading away as he's being thrown from corner to corner into the ropes. And now the snapmare out of the corner. Slick Nick slowing down the momentum, has him tied up in an abdominal stretch, a sit-down variation of it.
Well, the question is, Larry, how much can Steve sit in this ring and keep up with Slick Nick? I mean, sure, in the beginning, yeah, they were trading shots, they were showing up one another of sorts, you know. But now, what happens when this match goes 10 minutes, 5 minutes in, and it's already become longer than Steve's probably ever been in the ring, and now he's got to deal with the experience on Slick Nick.
Sunset flip, but a roll through drop kick counter by Slick Nick. That's some of the experience that we had talked about.
Exactly the experience. Rolling through out of the corner, catching him flush with the, and look at Steve making those rookie mistakes, showing how much a move hurt him, how much in pain he is, and how much it's really taking him out of the match.
Side Russian leg sweep, changes it up into a submission here.
Another version of almost like an abdominal stretch right now.
And Slick Nick is really wrenching in on this move. And you know, another thing that we haven't quite pointed out here so far, that so far in the career of Slick Nick, since HBW has returned, Slick Nick has yet to get a singles victory here in HBW, even a tag team victory. Ever since Resurrection, he has not picked up a victory, so you got to believe that that is also going into the mind of Slick Nick. And now, Slick Nick, definitely he wants to get that first victory, because obviously if you've had a series of matches and you don't get a victory after so many matches, that's got to be demoralizing to your psyche.
Oh, very much so, and you have to understand that's a huge monkey on the back of somebody like Slick Nick. Somebody like Slick Nick who's used to winning, who's part of a winning tag team. Oh, beautiful Ronin right there, who is a winner himself. To come into a place like Hybrid where the competition is so great and it just to be on this losing streak, it has to be really wearing on his psyche.
And that's the opportunity that Steve Andrews has to capitalize on. And right now he's
tackle into the midsection right there. Backflip.
Sets him up with a monkey flip, bringing him out of the corner.
Oh, shoots him all the way across the corner, the hard way right there to Steve.
Now, wait a minute. Nick went up and over out onto the floor. And you got to believe that the high-flying sensation, Steve Andrews, he looks like to be ready to take flight here.
Gotta question this. This is...
Lands on the apron, he faked him out, and slingshots himself off the ropes.
Arabian Press misses the ring apron right there, almost wiped out, but didn't. Really showing something right there with Steve Andrews.
That's part of that. Die Hard will be willing to take anything and do anything to get the victory that you were talking about earlier, Mike. And that's going to be the factor here. That could be a factor here.
Exactly, Larry. That's what I was trying to tell you. This kid, Steve, he has nothing to lose. To my knowledge, this is the first time I've ever seen him actually wrestle a match here in Hybrid, much less anywhere else almost. So for him to beat Slick Nick would, lands on his feet from the moonsault, it would be a huge feather in his cap.
Slick Nick now got caught.
Oh! Reverse Rana, almost out of the Alabama Slam, beautifully done. Put Slick Nick right on his head. And like I was saying, this is a catch-22 for Slick Nick. What does he accomplish by beating by beating Steve Andrews. It's like, okay, you beat your student. You're expected to beat it. But if Steve Andrews beats Slick Nick tonight, he makes a name for himself instantly.
I was saying before that Nick, he needs this victory because of the fact that he has not picked up a victory since HBW's return, since Resurrection. That's been at least 4 or 5 shows. And he needs to get that victory because his brother, Mr. Instant Replay.
Oh, look at the tornado DDT right there from Steve. Beautifully done.
I think Steve is ready to pull off the upset here. 1, 2.
Oh, 2 count only, says referee Aaron Hassad.
Came so close to pulling off the upset here in HPW, and we've seen a lot of wrestlers making their debut here tonight. Not too many of them have fared off very well, except for Los Pochos Guapos. And Steve Andrews obviously wanted to be another one of those victors, and it looks like Slick Nick's going to say otherwise. Brings him out.
Oh, Northern Lights. 1, 2. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful Northern Lights suplex with the bridge on the tippy toes. And I got to wonder, is Slick Nick starting to get a little bit upset here? Is he starting to like wonder, okay, what is it going to take to put away my own student?
Well, obviously, if he is a teacher and this is a student, the student is definitely going to put up a great fight for him. This could be it. And he got him. The Lion Salt proved to be the move that Slick Nick had to use to defeat his student and Steve Andrews.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Slick Nick Jackson!
And Slick Nick can finally say that just like his brother Matt, that he is a winner here in HPW. After taking a series of losses, he finally gets that W. And look at this, a great sign of respect, great showmanship by Slick Nick, and that's why he's one of our more popular athletes, one of our popular wrestlers in HPW. Camp over
Things like
this area,
break my
Victorville area.
skin. You are still linked to let me.
Also leads to